Hello ma'am, my name is Ronja from class 10B and today I'm gonna present a PPT on the chapter metals and non-metals. So let's begin. So what are metals? These are the kind of elements which can donate electrons. And now we will see some of the major physical properties of metals. First is sonorous. So the property by which a metal can be called sonorous is that when it is hit, they produce a sound. When they are struck to some hard surface, they produce some kind of sound. And yes, metal are oxides. Metal oxides are basic in nature. As we can see on the screen, metals are generally hard except sodium and potassium, which can be cut by a knife also. Tensile strength of metal. Metals have high value of tensile strength. They can bear heavy weights. That is why they are used in making bridges. Metals have a lot of basing capacity. Generally, metals are good conductors of heat and electricity. They have free electron due to which they conduct electric current. Silver and copper are good conductors. And there are always exceptions in chemistry. So, mercury is a metal which is a liquid at the room temperature, and it is not a good conductor. The property by which a metal can be called a ductile metal or is like when hit it can be stretched out in the form of wires like gold chains, copper, aluminium. Malleability is a physical property of metals that defines their ability to be hammered, pressed, or rolled into thin sheets without breaking. It is the property by which a metal, when struck with a hammer, can be converted into thin sheets. So, like I said earlier, metals are solid at room temperature except mercury, cesium, and gallium. There are only few metals which are liquid at room temperature. And now we will study about nonmetals. So these are the elements which can gain electrons. These exist as solid and gases except the bromine, which is liquid. They are generally soft except diamond. And you would be amazed to know that diamond is the most hardest substance in the world, even though it is a non-metal. So now we will check out some physical properties of non-metals. So coming to luster. Luster means shine, and like you obviously know that gold has a shine, silver has a shine, but non-metals except iodine do not have a shiny surface. So metals have some luster, they are shiny like gold, silver, and all, but non-metals don't. So color, non-metals have color, whereas metals are generally clear or silver in color. We all know about that. Malleability and ductility. Non-malleables are neither non-malleable nor ductile, and they are brittle in nature. Brittle means like very soft, so they can be easily break down. Chemical properties of metals. Reaction with water. Some of the metals react with water to form metal hydroxide, whereas some of them do not react. Reactivity with water depends from metals to metals. Metals like sodium and potassium are highly reactive. They react with water to form alkalis such as sodium hydroxide and potassium hydroxide. For example, 2Na plus 2HO will produce 2NaOH plus H2. We have balanced the equation here. Calcium also reacts with water to form calcium hydroxide and hydrogen. We have again balanced the equation here. Ca plus 2H2O, CaOH2 plus H2. Whereas magnesium and zinc do not react with cold water, they form their respective oxides when reacted with hot water. Like Mg plus H2O will produce MgO plus H2. Metals like sodium, potassium, lithium, and calcium react vigorously with dilute HCl and H2SO4 to form their metal salt and hydrogen, while magnesium, zinc, iron, tin, and lead does not react vigorously with acids. Iron is less reactive than sodium, potassium, calcium, zinc, and magnesium. It does not react with either cold water or hot water, but it reacts with steam to form magnetic oxides. And like 3Fe plus 4S2 will produce Fe3O4 plus 4S2. Now we will see reaction with dilute acid. So magnesium is a metal, iron is a metal, and when we react it with dilute acid, that's what happens. Mg plus HCl will produce MgCl2 plus S2. It's obvious. FeSO4, I'm sorry, Fe plus H2SO4 will produce FeSO4 plus S2. Metals which fall below hydrogen in the reactivity series does not react with dilute acids. They cannot displace hydrogen to form a bond with a non-metal anion. 9. Reaction of metal with other metal salts. Metals that are more reactive will readily with less reactive metals. More reactive metal displaces the less reactive metal from its oxide, chlorides, or sulfides. For example, zinc plus CSO4 will produce ZnSO4 plus CO. Metals are arranged according to the electrical potential of metals. This is also called electrochemical series or reactivity series. There are many names you can call by what you like. So, like potassium, sodium, calcium, magnesium, aluminum, zinc, iron, lead, hydrogen, copper, mercury, and a less reactive metal cannot displace a more reactive metal. So it is something to know. That's why we have to learn the reactivity series. So now we will see some chemical properties of both metals and non. So almost all metals react with oxygen to form metal oxide, like Na plus O2 will give 2Na to O2. And not, I'm talking about non-metals, they won't react with oxygen to form acetic oxide. I'm sorry, they would react with oxygen to form acetic oxide. Ca plus O2 will give CO2. And coming to reaction with water, only reactive metals react with water to form oxide or hydroxide, and that elevates hydrogen gas. Like for example, 2K plus 2H2O plus 2KOH plus H2. And non-metals do not displace hydrogen from water too. Reaction with dilute acid, all metals react with dilute acid to produce salt and hydrogen gas. Like Zn plus 2HCl will give ZnCl2 plus H2, though non-metal also do displace hydrogen from water too. So that's man. I hope you liked my PPT. Thanks for your time.